We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to do things a little bit different today. We definitely have to get into, unfortunately, the biggest flops of 2026 so far. Now, things can always change. A flop can make a bop eventually, okay? They just need the right writers, the right producers, the right marketing, the right music video. But we got to talk about the now. So the biggest flop so far in 2026, Sexy Red is getting the #1 biggest flop award. What happened to Sexy Red? I'm seeing that she's charting, bubbling under. You know, you done had the Nicki, the Champagne Thickums. She had a Cardi B cosign. Cardi B cosign really don't matter, but Cardi B was listening to her music. You worked with Bruno. That was a big collaboration. You and Bruno. Justin Bieber had you on his album last year. And unfortunately, you cannot find a hit by yourself. You are the biggest flop of 2026. And I told y'all Sexy Red wasn't going to last. Y'all was saying, oh, is Sexy Red next up to get ran through? Other than that, she's not next up for anything in regards to rap. She's next up to get ran through, though. Okay, so she's on the list for the biggest flops of 2026 so far. I like Sexy Red, some of her songs, but she is the biggest flop so far. #2 on the docket is, I love this artist dearly, is Doja. Okay, I love Doja, but unfortunately, girl, you got 2 Grammys. You got 2, not 1. You got 2. You won a Grammy this year for Anxiety. And then you won a Grammy last year for Best Hip Hop or Rap Album. But unfortunately, the SZA and Doja collaboration flopped. And I feel like a lot of her collaborations also flopped. She did a song with The Weeknd, flopped. She did a song with one of the K-pop artists. Was it Lisa or Rose? One of them. That flopped. Okay, she's been doing some collaborations that people unfortunately have not been paying attention to. Okay, now #3 for biggest flop is Megan Thee Stallion. I like Megan, but I feel like, again, there's no hits. Okay, these people are rappers. My whole thing is, and people might feel like I'm going hard, but all of these rappers that I've named have either been award-winning Grammy artists or Grammy nominated. Sexy Red was Grammy nominated, right? With Tyler, the Creator. I feel like when you just come into the game, there's not really time to slow down. You know, Megan's not new, but she hasn't been in the game for like 20 years. The BBB remix came and went. I don't know. I feel like the Whenever song came and went. The Kissing You remix, or whatever the sample was, you know, my man, my baby daddy, my man, whatever that song was, that flopped too. Like, you're 3 for 3 for flops. No shade. That's all I'm gonna say about Megan. You know that I'm just saying you're 3 for 3 for flops. Now, Cardi B, I won't say Cardi B flop, but I will say that her album didn't do what she thought it was gonna do. Like, her album doesn't have a lot of hits, but I wouldn't say that Cardi B is completely flopping. She's doing better than the other female rappers. I gotta give her somewhat of credit. She does get a big backing, but she's doing better than Megan, Doja, and everybody else, pretty much. But it was reported that allegedly Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B were highly affected by the bot removal that happened on Paolify a few days ago. Now, I don't know if I believe about the Kendrick Lamar, but I can definitely see Cardi B streams being removed, or the bots being removed, because the streams for her album Am I Delusional have been completely terrible. Okay, so her having bot removal on her album is not shocking. But with that being said, this proves that Cardi B's album's not as successful as, you know, the general public tries to make it seem. Okay? And the only thing really holding Cardi B's album for this era is WAP and Up. That came out 6 years ago. So, like, a lot of people are not listening to those songs anymore. Oh, I also will have to mention Doja Cat and Ice Spice as also flops so far in 2026. But I'm not going to go too hard on Ice Spice and Doja Cat because I feel like I've called them out for being flops plenty of times. So we not going to go too hard, but they also have made the list so far. Now, moving on from that, Lady Gaga officially earns the highest grossing concert by a female artist outside of the U.S. with 13.7 million each night at Accor Stadium in Sydney on December 13th and the 12th, breaking Queen Bee's record at the Stade de France in 2025, okay? Now everybody's saying, oh, she surpassed Beyonce, but when Beyonce go back on tour, she just gonna break this record. I don't know why y'all so happy. I see the Gaga fans saying, oh, she surpassed Beyonce. But when Beyonce go back on tour in 2027 and grow 600 million and do 15 million per show, what y'all gonna say then? Okay, y'all always come for Queen Bee, and then she proves y'all wrong. Now, I like Gaga. She's a phenomenal performer. I didn't think she did that great at the Super Bowl, but she's a phenomenal performer, so I'm not mad at this. I think it's well-deserved because at the end of the day, if you're a really good performer, you deserve to make this amount of money. But, like I said before, I definitely believe that Beyonce will be coming for the throne. And it's really no shade. Now, moving on from that, JT clashed back at Cardi B fans because they were calling her out on allegedly not being a fashion girly. A lot of people didn't like her recent fashion choices. So a Cardi B fan said, JT really thinks she a fashion girly. Where her friends at? She just be out here looking a mess. And JT responded and said, always the fan pages talking about fashion like their fave don't think she a lyricist. Be calm. Okay, which is true. Cardi B be thinking that she be spitting bars that she actually recites from Person Fontaine. Okay, when Imaginary Faces dropped, Cardi B really thought she was gonna gag the live with that camel face sample. Okay, she really thought that was gonna be like a top 10 or a number one record, and nobody moved, nobody cared. Live Nation, who is being investigated for violating the antitrust law, admitted that most artists can't even sell out their tours. They said 95% of shows don't sell out after the 2010 merger, and Live Nation tries to help artists sell out their shows. So that's what they admitted during trial. Now, how do they help artists? Do they give out free tickets? Do they buy the tickets? We don't know. More will be revealed. Now, Messy Budden, bottom feeder Budden, Joe Budden, is receiving backlash for saying that he doesn't like going after Camel Face, even though he has came after Young Money for many years.
I told somebody recently, if you want to get Jay-Z and y'all got him, I'm down. But you have to have him. Like, that's a big fish. It can't be, oh, that's his son. I don't care about that. It can't be, oh, the psychic said in 2036 you're going down. Joe talk. No. You asking me to fuck with really powerful people that I know watch and listen to every word I say. And if not every word, certainly when their name come up. So when you have these people, I'm down.
That's how I feel. Super Bowl shit, I was on his ass. He did some other shit with the school, was on his ass. Got the call too. But I still ain't afraid to be on it. You know what I mean? But like you said, I'm not chasing. And I do that with anybody. You know, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Being up here has taught me that too. You know what I mean? Because everybody has a different position. I'm like, I got to be a little more measured with some of this shit. Because we don't know what's true and what's not. And so much untrue shit comes out. And this platform is too big to jump out the window on some shit.
Yeah, it's tough. You kill yourself.
So a lot of people are saying, oh, he's scared. He doesn't want to go against the machine. People are calling him all types of names on social media. I think two truths can exist, okay, for this type of situation. I do believe that, he can't just say anything on his platform. Nobody really can, okay? You do have to be careful when you have a platform. Even if the majority of people on social media are saying one thing, you can't always go what they're saying, okay? Because you may face the consequences, i.e., Tasha K and Milagro. So you got to do what's best for you and your blog or podcast, whatever you may do, okay? But in regards to Joe, I do feel like there is a little bit of fear because he didn't really speak out in regards to Diddy right away either. I noticed when it comes to the gatekeepers like Camelface and Diddy, he's very reluctant to criticize, right? Because of the pull that they have. But he's very much critical of anybody on Young Money, Wayne, Nicki, and Champagne Thickums, because they don't have the same type of power as Camelface and Diddy. So I do think two things could be true. I do believe he's scared or fearful of what could happen if he goes against them, because as you guys can clearly tell, they will reach out. But I also very much believe that, in my opinion, a lot of people on social media, a lot of fans, a lot of stans want bloggers to ride a wave or to dislike a celebrity because they dislike a celebrity. And when you have a platform, you can't always do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you riding a wave can get you in a wave of trouble. Okay, legally. Okay, we've seen it happen plenty of times. Even if there's some factual truth to what they're saying. A lot of times these celebrities, when they get these big machines and they have these lawyers and, these corporate giants behind them, they'll sue. Okay, hoping that they'll get millions of dollars like Cardi B and Meghan Markle, and they might only get $59,000 like Megan Thee Stallion. But the point of the matter is, they're not scared to go after the smaller blogs. Like Joe, he's not a small podcast. So they're not going to go straight to him because he got the money for the good lawyers. They're going to go after the smaller platforms because it's easier to target. So not everybody can get away with saying certain things on their platform or on social media. Now, Baby Keem debuts 10 songs from Casino at this week's Billboard Hot 100 chart. Number 34, Good Flirts with Ndrick and Momo Boyd. 37, Casino. 47, House Money. 50, Birds and the Bees. Birds and the Bees is a bop automatically. Circus Freestyle at number 66, another bop. Sex Appeal should definitely be higher. That to me gonna be the song of the summer. With Too Short. No Security at number 76. Dramatic Girl at number 77. Highway 95 Part 2 at number 88. And at number 89, I Am a Lyricist. So congratulations to Baby Keem. Now, with that being said, a lot of people are also talking about Big Bruno. Big Bruno's album, The Romantic, aiming for a number one debut on the Billboard 200 chart with 175,000 units first week, according to Hits Daily Double. Now, I'm not going to say this is a flop because he's going number one, but I thought he was going to do way more than 175. I mean, Nicki did 228. Kendrick Lamar did 319. How are you selling less than the rappers? You're a pop star. You should be selling more. I'm thinking Big Bruno gonna do 300,000. But he only had 9 songs. We do have to take that in consideration. And I'm being honest with you. I thought his album was a chop. I like Bruno, but I thought his album was a little bit of a chop. I still like Bruno. It's not shade. But I feel like he could have done better. I feel like it was a little bit of laziness in the album. And that's why Pitchfork, rated it a 5.8. No shade. So I don't know what's going on with Big Bruno. Maybe Titanic Records ran out of the payola that they used for the first single. Because I definitely don't believe that he organically went number one on the Hot 100 with the first single he dropped. So maybe they ran out of the payola for his budget at Titanic Records, but I'm not going to say this is a flop because he's still going number one, but it's definitely showing me that a lot of these pop stars ain't bigger than these rappers, you know, because I think J. Cole just did 280. Like, that's very interesting. But, like I said before, he had 9 songs. So that could play a part as to why it's only doing 175. But anyway, got some very hot tea on, you know, Camel Face, 50 Cent, Blake Lively, Selena. On Patreon, link would be in the description. I hope you guys have a great day.